welcome back to Breathe and Budget. I want to take a moment also to say welcome to those that are new to my channel. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope that in some way my videos can help you jumpstart or reignite your financial journey. We talk about all things finance related on this channel, including how I use the zero-based budget method, cash envelopes, as well as fun savings challenges to meet our financial goals. So hopefully you stick around, and if that is of interest to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell button. That'll notify you when a new video is out. And let's get into today's video. All right, you guys, that was a little bit of a different intro. I just wanted to take a moment to say welcome to those that are new to my channel. I'm going to actually just talk about my budget calendar really quick, how I complete that, and then my first paycheck for February, which comes at the end of January. I want to go ahead and disperse what I have left over after I've paid all of my fixed expenses. And I do want to explain how I cover those expenses. A lot of people think they're missing seeing me cash stuff for those, but I do not always. So we'll get into that. So I use the budget by paycheck workbook method by the Budget Mom. We are setting up our February calendar. So I hope I've done enough zooming to where, at least for right now, you can see a full spread. Basically, what I like to do is I like to look at my financial plan for the entire month here on the calendar. And what this does is, before you go in and you create your actual budget, like what you're going to cash stuff for and stuff, you have to make sure that your fixed expenses are covered first. So obviously you want to list your paydays. My husband and I are paid twice a month, and depending on when the day lands, sometimes it's kind of all over the place, but for the most part, it's like one check a week. And then this last check that'll come February 29th will be for March. But on Tuesday, January 30th, which hasn't happened yet, I will be paid, and that income is going to cover us for the first part of February. And then he'll get paid on the 7th, and that'll cover us until my next check on the 15th, and then that'll cover us until the next check on the 22nd. This upcoming month is a little different just because normally our checks land closer to the beginning of the week, like Monday, Tuesday block. That doesn't seem to be happening. Like, we have one coming in on Thursday. So today I'm filming this on Friday the 26th, and I have already, I already know what this check is going to be. I'm already going to be cash pulling for that. You know, I'm going to be going to the bank for this check. Even though that check hasn't arrived yet, I'm already going to pull, because remember, we keep that cushion, that buffer in our account. So I have money that I can pull, and then when my check deposits, it just replenishes it right away. But I'm trying to stay on schedule. I basically do all of my financial stuff Thursday and Friday for that following week, right? Because then my videos post, for the most part, Sunday, my cash stuffing. The last 2 weekends, I haven't been able to get out a second video on Saturday. My goal is for this video to be out tomorrow, Saturday, then my cash stuffing and my savings challenge out on Sunday. So it's just a little wonky. So we're going to see how this month goes. But this is what you need to do. You want to list your paychecks, right? And then for each paycheck, you want to designate a certain color. And what I'll do is probably take pictures of this and put it up like on the screen so that you guys can see like closer what I'm talking about. So each paycheck, I've given a specific highlighter color. Then what I do is, if I know for this paycheck, I know I'm going to cover half the mortgage, Six Flags, I'm going to put some towards our water and trash bill, and I'm going to put half of the car away. I already know that's going to be covered by that check. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that with that corresponding color. Same thing with his check. Even though I put the gas company on the 3rd of every month, I keep it on the 3rd for just stability on my end. But I'll be honest, the due date for the gas company changes all the time. But since we get alerts that tell us what our projected bill is going to be, I've never been wrong in projecting and setting aside enough from this paycheck to cover it. So he'll cover the gas bill, he'll cover our solar, he'll cover our internet, and a lot of the sinking funds for holidays and like the long-term sinking funds for some of our annual or biannual bills that we have. And then my other check, that is going to cover the rest of the mortgage, the rest of the car, iCloud, the rest of Six Flags, and the whole having 2 Six Flags, it's just because we added a pass for my youngest when she became eligible to like needing a pass. She wasn't free. Google Photos, which is only $2 a month, but I definitely suggest using alternate sources to hold your photos, like not just in your iCloud on, if you have an Apple device, and not necessarily just an external hard drive, because I've had bad things happen with that. So I actually have it in about 3 different places just for safekeeping, because when I thought I lost over 10,000 photos of my firstborn, I was devastated, like devastated. So yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen. And then we have Edison right here. This is highlighted with every single highlighter because ideally I need to put some money away from each check, or maybe 2. I just wanted to highlight it just so I know I need to start pulling for Edison. When you have solar, you still have to pay your electric company sometimes, depending on if you've generated enough energy versus what they're storing for you. Kind of hard to explain. Last year I only wound up owing $200, and that's for the year. I don't know what it'll be this year. It seems like to be a little bit higher, but I have been running the heater more because I'm frozen. I'm frozen to the bones, and I like to be warm, and since I work from home and we're home all day, I don't know, I might need to settle a larger bill with them, so we'll see. I just want to be prepared. Then his last check, that's going to cover our T-Mobile and our movie club, and then again, a lot of our sinking funds. And then on your calendar, you want to make sure you're marking any events or upcoming holidays that you have. I have yoga every Saturday. I just didn't write that, but I have yoga every Saturday. I just hadn't written that on every Saturday yet. But the 10th, I know it's yoga and nails. So I know I have to be prepared for my nails on that day. So that tells me that I have to pull money for nails in cash from both checks, the 30th and the 7th, to be prepared for the 10th. So I like seeing it that way because then I know how many paychecks I have until that appointment. Then we're going to my dad's house for Super Bowl Sunday, so I will need to increase like our food just so that I can bring, I think we're going to kind of do like a potluck style. So I want to make sure I'm financially prepared for that. This day I'm going to be doing the election worker training, like I'm a backup to work the polls. So I will be away from the home on that day, right? Away from the house. So I will probably need to eat out. So I had to consider that. And then obviously we have Valentine's Day, but we have our sinking fund that we had already saved for. So that money will just be incorporated into that weekly budget, because we do essentially budget weekly, even though I like to look at a month overview. Then we have River's birthday, my dad's birthday. So you want to make sure you're marking your events and your holidays. That way you are prepared for your spending. And then I like to put a little bit of notes, like just for reminders, like reminding myself to spend less, save more. That's my goal for 2024, trying to be very intentional with our spending. So I put like more game or movie nights at home, and then I wanted to remind myself to create that sinking fund for Edison. So once I create the actual envelope, I'll check that off. I'm not going to allow myself, to check it off until then. So up next, what I want to do is this is a cash breakdown sheet that I had intended to print on cardstock that I didn't put the cardstock in my printer. I had my vellum. So it came out in vellum. So then I just laminated it with like 5mm glossy. I have no luck writing on matte laminate. I don't know how everyone does it. I've tried it with different pens. I've tried removing it with alcohol. I've tried removing it with nail polish remover, all of the things, and it just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to just use the glossy, and I'm going to use my Sharpie pen. I have a couple different Sharpie pens. Like I have this one, which is, I think they're both very fine tip, but I like how this one writes. And then I have this one that was from Dripped by E. I usually use this one for my savings challenges, so I don't really know. So I think I'll just use this one for right now. What I want to do is, after I've paid all of the bills, my fixed expenses, so basically how I do that is that money stays in my account. We have most of our bills set up to do auto pay. So they will just automatically come out of the account, okay? Not all of them though, like water, trash, even our internet. I probably could put that one just like on auto pay, but for a while there, like they kept changing the amount. It was like $10 more, $20 more. So it made me a little bit nervous. Although we have that $1,000 buffer, I shouldn't even be nervous. But I think maybe old habits, take a while to fade. But I used to be very scared to do auto pay because I didn't know if I would have enough money. And I didn't want the overdraft fee. So even though we are so much more financially secure and stable now than we were years ago, I still find myself doing things that I did when we had poor financial health. So in fact, I think I'm going to do that today. I'm going to set up the auto pay for our internet because I know that no matter what, we have money in our account. Like I have to trust that. I've never wavered from keeping that 1,000 in the checking for the last 4 years. I'm not going to start now, right? So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. I've been working on my brand, my logo. Breathe and budget is going to stay because you guys know breathing, reminding myself to breathe when I forget to breathe is super important to me, but the lotus flower is as well. As you guys may know, the lotus flower literally every night sinks into mud, goes back into mud, and every morning arises from that mud to bloom once again. So for me, it's just kind of metaphorical in terms of the things I've been through in my life and how no matter how deep I've gotten in the mud, I've always been able to rise above it and bloom again. So I'm trying to incorporate things into my brand and my logo that really signify my journey, my strengths, and the direction that I'm trying to go in. So the lotus flower means a lot to me. So when I found this, I thought it was cute. I'm sure they were saying something about people will put jewelry in here. Like maybe I could put my ring in there when I'm washing my hands, right? Or a candle. But I think what I'll do is I'll dump change in there when I need to dump change. And I know it's a very small container, but I don't want to build change too much. I want to get my change put into our bank that counts it. It's like we put it in on the top and then it keeps account for it and then we roll it. I have to actually share my change journey with you guys because I'll be honest, it's just sitting here rolled and it's so much. You can't imagine how much money you can save from just your change, just your pennies. But when I tell you guys, you can save a lot of money, hundreds of dollars, you can, especially being a cash, spender. When they give you that change back, that's what you're saving. Don't just let it go to the bottom of your purse. Put it in one central location, go get those rolls from the bank and roll your cash, roll your change so you know how much you have. Sorry, I'm really chatty today. So let's just move along because I actually have no time to be chatty right now. We are going to go ahead and do my cash breakdown. So what I like to do for the first check with my check, I like to try to cover some of the essential categories that we have. And yes, nails is an essential category for me. I had someone make a comment on my channel that I found very judgmental, but I will just say that yes, I pay to get my nails done. And I love how my nails look. And I went years, decades, not doing my nails. Kids came first. Everyone came first. I was always last. And I never did my hair. I didn't get it dyed. I didn't get it cut. My stepmom would give me a haircut every once in a while when it was getting too much. I didn't do anything for myself. And I just got to the point where I don't know, I think it stifled my feminine energy, and I started to have a problem with that. So then I started to look into getting my nails done, started with doing pedicures, and then eventually I worked my way to my hands. And then also, I recently learned it's also a tax write-off because y'all don't want to be looking at janky nails, right? You want to be looking at pretty nails. So me doing my videos, it's actually a tax write-off. That's, I will, discuss this more with my financial advisor, my tax person, just to make sure. But that is my understanding. So yeah, you're going to see nails on the essentials, okay? That is just what it is. And I hope that doesn't make you leave my channel, that I'm able to incorporate that in my budget. Please understand, I went many years not being able to. There was not an extra penny, not just dollar, penny available for me to do any of those things for myself. So the fact that I'm able to now, because we've both made such advancements in our career, I think I'm entitled to do so without judgment. So if you're still here with me and you haven't already left the video and unsubscribed, let's jump into this. So we're going to do our spending. So we have my spending, and then his spending. In fact, let me go ahead and write the categories and speed you up, and then we'll discuss. All right, I hope that you guys can see that. Those are the categories. So I'm gonna go ahead and write the amount for each one. You'll notice that I don't just have pets as a singular category anymore. I did break down my pets into various categories, items, because some are very specific in their amount. Like Coco, she gets special food from Chewy, and I need to make sure I'm ready when they go ahead and ship that out. It's like almost $100 a bag, but we can go a few months. She doesn't finish the bag. Then we have like, flea prevention, and I want to save additional money. Even though we have the $3,000 set aside for emergencies, I want to set aside some money for just typical vet care. So like dental cleanings, right? Or, their checkups, shots, things like that. And then their pet licensing fee. Someone asked me about that. They were like, what is that? We don't have that. Here where I live, I'm in LA County. We have to pay like a licensing fee and have our pets registered, like licensed with the animal control department. So we have to pay that annually. I don't know. Is that really not like that everywhere? Is that just a California thing, LA County thing? Like, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know. So you guys, I increased my spending. Let me just say that before I write the amounts. Normally I put $200 a month. I've decided I'm going to give myself $300 this month. I don't know that I will spend it, but again, if I don't, we all know it's going to my savings challenges. All right, so these are the amounts that we have agreed upon. An increase on my spending. I don't know if that's dry yet. I don't want to like write over it, but I got to fix that 5. That's going to bug me. The $100 a week for my husband to equal $400 for the month. We already have $100 in date night, which we're rolling over. We wound up not using, but I will be rolling it over, and I'll only be adding $25 right now. Dining out, we increased it from $300 to $400, and let me tell you why. The $300, we always went over. We always went over. Whether I pulled it from kids or I used our cushion and then had to replenish our cushion, we were going over. So this is why, okay, people say, I don't know how much to cash stuff. Clearly, neither did I, because I chose $300 thinking we needed to work within that budget. That just wasn't working. Realistically, it just wasn't working. Sometimes we're out of the house for their Taekwondo classes. That's like anywhere 3 to 4 times a week, or we'll go down to Universal since we have those passes, and we wind up eating out. So I figured, let's try $400. That's enough to keep $40 aside for every yoga Saturday, because that's always lunch out of the home. And then the rest towards anywhere from 2 to 3 nicer dinners, because it usually runs us about $100 to eat at a nice restaurant, if not a little bit more. Or smaller, like if we decided we were going to do like Panda Express or Chipotle or Panera. Well, Panera is more expensive anyways, but I'm increasing it just to see if we can stick within that $400 budget. That way there's not this like unplanned spending happening that has been happening. So I'm trying to get better. So you may not know the amount. You may have to play with the amount. You may have to adjust it. That's why tracking your spending is so important, because I was able to identify $300 wasn't enough. We were going over. So I need to increase that. So nails, we're going to do $250. So I'll do $125 this paycheck and $125 the next paycheck. Kids, toiletries, and kids, toiletries, and household are all going to get $100. We have rollover. I don't know. I think $20 rollover for kids. I may or may not keep it in there. I might put it to their graduation envelope, or I might put it towards savings challenges. I haven't decided yet. I need to decide soon, since I'm going to be filming my cash stuffing here in a moment. But Kids, toiletries, household, $100. I don't know when I'll stop. I'm thinking maybe 300 in each, the toiletries and household, and then I'll pause on cash stuffing it, and then when I use it, I'll replenish it. I just want to be able to have a nice little cushion should we need to get something. Like household, yes, that covers like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, and things like that. But for some reason, when we need one thing, we need 10. Or if something were to happen, I don't know, one of us needed to replace a pillow, a blanket, or whatever, I would pull it from here. So I think 300 might be a decent number. Then for our pets, what we've done is kind of break it down. I put 113, well, I put 125 towards pets, but only 113 are here. I left $12 in my account because I purchased our lobster food, because yes, we have lobsters too, summer and winter. I purchased their lobster food on Amazon. So instead of pulling cash for it, I'm just going to pay my Amazon card that I use to purchase. So that's not here for cash stuffing, but the rest is. So Atlas is going to get 10. His adventure gear is going to get 5. Coco will get 15 towards her subscription. Phoenix and Raja will get 13. Flea prevention and vet will both get 30. And pet licensing will get 10. So I have some time to pay for the pet licensing, I think. Although I saw on those, like, I don't know if you guys have it where you are, I get emails telling me what's coming in my mail. They like scan your mail that morning to let you know. So I see an image from animal control coming, so I don't know what that is. I'm trying to think, like, what animal do I owe like a pet licensing fee for right now? I didn't think I had one, so we'll see what that notice says. A little scary there, guys. But if I know by the time I'm editing this video, I'll just pop it up on the screen. So let me go ahead and do my breakdown. I'll just put on some nice music and speed you through this. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that cash so that we can do our cash stuffing. That should do it. All right, let's go ahead and add that up. All right, $838. So this is what I'm going to be cash stuffing for our essentials binder. So I just need to go to the bank, pull that money before I start work this morning and get that cash stuffed. And then I will also be filming my savings challenge video. So I will be putting money towards my savings challenges. What I've tried to do is allot a certain amount to go towards savings challenges, but also leftover, rollover from my personal spending and any other category that I feel I don't necessarily want to keep and roll over in that specific category. Like kids, that might go to graduation, or it might go to the savings challenges that I have that are supposed to be funding my 6-month emergency fund. That's why I'm trying to heavily save this year, is I'm trying to reach up 6 months of expenses to cover us just in case anything were to happen. So I hope that this video in some way was informative and helped you. Like I said at the top of the video, is encouraging to get you to start your financial journey, or hopefully to reignite. If in any way you have felt like stifled, I'm hoping that this has helped you. And I appreciate you guys being here. We are so close to 4,000 watch hours, which does mean I can monetize by watching ads. Like if you guys watch ads on YouTube when you're watching my videos, obviously I have no expectation of you sitting there watching the ads. I do, because now that I know, like, that's how the revenue is generated, is by watching ads. So when I'm watching my favorite YouTube channels, I let the ads play and I watch them, because I know I'm helping my, community of those that I like to support, increase their income for their household. And that's super important to me. So we're so close, and I appreciate that. Like, I haven't even had my channel a year and we're already going to be able to be at that step and that milestone. So I appreciate it. If you are new, again, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye.